Let's talk about what the Canadian weather has been like for a new immigrant like myself. From very chilly, brutal winter to rainy spring to scorching summer, very hot scorching summer in Edmonton, and then to blooming spring, the most beautiful of them all. It's currently winter season here in Canada and my second winter experience in Canada. But this winter season for me came with mixed feelings. Probably because the first winter I experienced, I came prepared. I came to Canada when it was winter. So my mind was prepared. I had heard that winter in Canada can be terrible, that it gets really cold, very cold. And I surely did experience the cold last year. Stuck outside waiting for the bus. Bus got delayed for about 4 or 5 minutes in a minus 42 weather. But because my mind was sort of prepared, I knew what to expect, right? They had told me, I had watched videos, I had listened to people talk. But on the flip side, after experiencing my first winter, I wasn't ready for another winter. I just wanted the autumn weather to just continue because it felt so good. The experience was so good. In this video, I shall be talking about my experience in all the seasons, the weather seasons in Canada, and what I think about them. Also, I shall be sharing with you my two favorites. Here in Canada, we have 4 seasons. Winter, which lasts for about 5 to 6 months. We have the spring season, we have summer, and we have autumn. I previously lived in Edmonton. I lived in Edmonton for about 10 months before I recently moved to Thunder Bay. And I'm currently experiencing my second winter here in Thunder Bay. And I would say from my own point of view, 100% from my own point of view, that Edmonton is colder than Thunder Bay. See, Thunder Bay is the northern part of Ontario and it's considered as one of the cold areas in Ontario. Ontario is cold, but it's not as cold as the wild rose Alberta. However, Thunder Bay, which is the northern part of Ontario, is considered colder than some major cities in Ontario. But Thunder Bay is nothing compared to Edmonton. Taking into consideration the cities I've lived so far, Canada is cold, but there are some certain areas in Canada that gets colder than other areas, such as Alberta. And Alberta experience, I think, longer winter months, and their winter starts early. As early as early November, I think late October this year, it had already started snowing in Edmonton. But for Thunder Bay here, we started experiencing snow, I think the second week of December. So you see the difference. But one other thing I've noticed, one positive thing I've noticed about life in Edmonton is the fact that the snow melts, the snow on the ground melts out very fast. But here, it freezes up and it causes the roads to be very icy and dangerous to walk in. You have to be extremely careful. One thing I will not fail to say in this video is that how everyone feels the cold is subjective. During school days, children can go out to play in up to minus 20, minus 15, minus 20 weather. It's okay for them to go out to play. They are well dressed, wearing their snow pants, snow jackets, putting on their gloves and putting on their mittens and the headgear to cover up. So with children, they adapt to the weather easily than adults do. What I tell myself is dress appropriately. And one other unfortunate thing about the winter season is that you get to experience lots of accidents because the roads are very slippery. It's like people forget how to drive when it's winter because the roads are very slippery to drive on, especially when the snow is really much. Now guys, let's move on to the next season, and that would be spring. During this season, we experience rain, more rain and cloudy days than dry days. So it's rain, rain, rain. Sometimes, some days it rains, other days it doesn't rain. Some days it just rains for a few hours. And unlike back home, where if it's raining, you get to know it's raining because you hear the thunderous noise on the roof. But here, you don't even know when it's raining until you look through your window and you see that the ground is wet and it's raining. Back home, when it's raining, you smell that, you get to take in that smell from nature, with the rain getting on the ground and hitting the grasses. It comes with this particular nature scent that's very, very pleasing to the nostrils. Here, one beautiful thing is that the flowers start growing again. Everywhere becomes green. It's really beautiful. So that's one beautiful thing I like about the spring season. Then to the next season, which is summer. I come from a tropical country with just two seasons, raining season and dry season. Dry season, you have sun, and sometimes it really gets scorching, but not as scorching as the kind of sun I experienced in Edmonton. I don't know if it's the same in Ontario, but in Edmonton, it was really hot. Some days it got up to positive 35, 36, 37 with people coming down with heat stroke. It was really hot. I had to hold myself back from complaining because I told myself I can't be complaining about winter and complaining about summer. I grew up experiencing sun, but not the kind of sun that I experienced in Edmonton. It feels like Edmonton weather gets to the extreme. When it's winter, it's really winter, it gets really cold. When it's summer, it's really summer, it gets really, really hot. But the beautiful thing about it is that I got to dress the way I've always known how to dress, wearing my sandals, wearing my ballerina shoes, wearing my African dresses, wearing simple dresses. I remember my colleague would always tell me, Greta, you are so ready for the summer because I brought out all my wonderful African dresses and I was maintaining steeze and composure. It was so lovely to behold. I loved the weather. I adored summer, even though it got really, really hot. I mean, really hot. At night, it was terrible. The breeze coming from outside through your window would not do. You have to get a fan. So that's one downside of summer in Edmonton. But the good news is that you get to have lots of activities, go outside, go swimming. Edmonton is landlocked. It doesn't have beaches. So people go outside of Edmonton to neighboring cities. And so there's this place people usually go to. If you're watching this video and you're new in Edmonton, take note. I heard it's very beautiful. My colleague speaks so well about that place. It's called Sylvan Lake. One unfortunate thing about summer is that it's hot. On some days you want to go out, but because it's scorching hot, you're going to suffer a heat stroke. You're forced to stay inside. And for days where the weather isn't so hot, you have bees and you have the most terrible ones, which are called wasps. Those things, hey, remembering them, I feel like crying. They are terrible, the wasps. I don't even know if that's how to pronounce it. That's the worst part about summer. Aside the heat, forget the heat. You can always make do with the heat. You put on your sunscreen and then you put on a hat, you put on sunglasses and you go wherever you want to go to. But those things, the bees and the wasps, they would drive you nuts. Summer usually lasts for just about 2 months or 2.5 months, depends on how early you start your summer. But let's just say 2 months. And the first season would be the autumn season. With autumn, the weather starts getting chilly, just a little bit chilly. It depends on what's your own subjective term of chilly is. And then the flowers start blooming and turning yellow and red, and the flowers also start falling. With this, you know that winter is coming because autumn or fall, as people would call it, ushers us into the winter season, and then it just keeps going round and round. For summer, we have longer days and shorter nights, and for winter, we experience short days and long nights. Like I said earlier, I have two favorite seasons. I'll be going from the least to my most favorite. My least favorite would be the summer season. Why do I like the summer season? Because I grew up in a tropical region, so I'm used to the sun, even though it gets really hot sometimes, and I'm wondering what kind of scorching heat is this. But I like the summer. The fact that I can wear free clothes, I can wear my sandals, my legs can breathe, my body can breathe. I am not all tied up in sweaters and jackets. I love the summer weather. Like, I go out and I'm like, oh, this is life. This is good. And then my most favorite would be autumn because it comes with beauty. Nature is beautiful. I love nature. So autumn comes with beauty. And the fact that the weather is not hot, it's not cold, it's just there. And the weather, the ground in autumn isn't really messy. Winter gets so messy. Like I told someone the other day, I can do with the cold but without the messy ground, because I don't drive. I take the bus and walking. Even when you're driving, everywhere is messy. You have to change into your winter tires, which cost money, and you have to drive carefully. You have to one day at a time. Buses cancel on you, or buses are delayed. Thank you so much, guys, for staying to the end of this video. Please do not forget to subscribe before you leave today. I'd really appreciate your subscription. And also please do not forget to subscribe to my video. Please do not forget to subscribe. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and also leave a comment for me in the comment section. If you're a Canadian watching this video, or you're an immigrant that have been here for the longest time, or even a new immigrant, what's your opinion about the weather seasons in Canada? Which is your favorite and why? What advice would you like to leave for people that are just coming in newly as regards the winter, the spring, the autumn, and also the hot, scorching summer? Thank you, and until the next video, bye bye, and a happy new year.